Good evening. This is Akashvani Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi leaves on a three-nation tour of Japan, Papua New Guinea and Australia. Minister Paiwang Konyak asks World Bank to continue support to Nagaland. Nagaland gets required quantity of EVMs and VVPATs for upcoming general elections to the Lok Sabha to be held in 2024. And India says it is developing mitigation programs to reduce risk of losses from all hazards. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi left on a three-nation tour of Japan, Papua New Guinea and Australia this morning. On the first leg of his tour, Prime Minister Modi will attend G7 summit in Japan at the invitation of Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. Briefing media in New Delhi, Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra said the G7 summit has chosen several key priorities for the current presidency. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that he is looking forward to exchanging views with the G7 countries and other invited partners on challenges that the world faces and the need to collectively address them. Issuing a departure statement before leaving for Hiroshima, Japan today, Modi said his presence in this G7 summit is particularly meaningful as India holds the G20 presidency this year. Minister for Health and Family Welfare P. Paiwang Konyak and Commissioner and Secretary Y. Kiketo Sema, along with a team of Nagaland Health Project NHP, met the country director World Bank Augustano Gome today at the World Bank office in New Delhi. The minister thanked the World Bank for the support to Nagaland, especially in the health sector where the NHP was successfully implemented. He also highlighted that the funds received under various schemes from the central government are mainly for specific programs and the NHP's funding could cater to the gaps not covered by other programs. Kiketo Sema also thanked the World Bank for funding the projects in Nagaland in the health, education and agriculture and allied activities sectors. He said a proposed new project of the Nagaland Health System Strengthening Project NHSSP is mainly to fill the gaps in the infrastructure of the health centers, including building quarters for health workers, stating that the desire of the state government to provide affordable and accessible health care to its citizens cannot be fulfilled without good infrastructure facilities. Sema appealed to the World Bank to support the new projects. Augustano Gome appreciated and congratulated the team on the successful implementation of the Nagaland Health Project. With the successful implementation of the NHP, Gome stated that the bank would be interested to support the new project of NHSSP. Election Commission of India has allocated the required quantity of EVMs and VVPATs for all the 2,315 existing polling stations in Nagaland for the upcoming general elections to the Lok Sabha to be held in 2024. A press release from the Chief Electoral Officer of Nagaland, the state will use the latest M3 model of EVMs and VVPATs manufactured by ECIL, Electronic Corporation of India Limited, Hyderabad, a public sector undertaking of the Ministry of Atomic Energy. The release stated that as part of the preparedness for the upcoming Lok Sabha election, the CEO office will conduct workshop on first-level checking of EVMs and VVPATs for the district election officers, returning officers and assistant returning officers in the last week of September to sensitize and equip the officers for handling and management of the EVMs and VVPATs. In the month of October, the actual FLC first-level checking of all the EVMs and VVPATs will be conducted by the authorized engineers of the manufacturers of EVMs and VVPATs and keep them ready for use in the election. The release added that after FLC of EVMs and VVPATs is completed, the process of demonstration and awareness campaign will be carried out in all the polling stations by designated teams to sensitize the voters about the use of EVMs and VVPATs during elections. This news comes to you from Akashvani Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. India has told the United Nations General Assembly that it is developing ambitious mitigation programs to reduce the risk of losses from all hazards, including landslides, floods, earthquakes, heat waves, and lightning. Principal Secretary to Prime Minister P.K. Mishra said that India accords high importance to disaster risk reduction issues as it is a central public policy issue. He said that India has also significantly increased the funding earmarked for disaster risk reduction. Mishra said this while speaking at a Risk Reduction Hub event at the United Nations headquarters during the high-level meeting of the midterm review of Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 to 2030 that is taking place at the United Nations headquarters. He added that India has brought about landmark changes in the financing architecture to support the entire spectrum of disaster risk management needs for disaster risk mitigation, preparedness, response, recovery, and reconstruction. Highlighting the importance of early warning system, Mishra said that India is working assiduously to improve access to early warning. The meeting was organized by India's National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) and Japan International Cooperation Agency (JICA) to discuss the roles of states for promoting investments in disaster risk reduction towards resilient and sustainable future. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said that development of the Northeast is the priority of Narendra Modi-led government and the centre is consistently working for this region. The Union Minister said this at the launching program of the famous organic queen pineapple produced in Tripura at Delhi yesterday. He said due to continuous encouragement by the Prime Minister, Tripura as well as other northeastern states are making fast-paced progress. Tomar said that the Ministry of Donor plays an active role and is engaged in implementing the projects for development of the region. He further said that this region has achieved huge success in organic farming. Tomar added that Sikkim has already been declared an organic state and Tripura too is heading on the same path. The Defence Ministry has said that the value of defence production in the financial year 2022-23 has crossed the figure of 1 lakh crore rupees for the first time ever. It said the value currently stands at 1,06,800 crore rupees and it will go up further once the data is received from the remaining private defence industries. The current value of defence production in the year 2022-23 is a rise in more than 12% as compared to last financial year, which stood at 95,000 crore rupees. In a statement, the ministry said the government is continuously working with defence industries and their associations to remove the challenges faced by them and promote defence production in the country. It said a number of policy reforms have been taken to achieve the objective of ease of doing business, including the integration of MSMEs and startups into the supply chain. The ministry said due to these policies in defence design, development and manufacturing, there is almost a 200% increase in the number of defence licenses issued to the industries in the last 7 to 8 years. It added that these measures have given a boost to the defence industrial manufacturing ecosystem in the country and generated tremendous employment opportunities. And now to the news, here are the main points again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi leaves on a 3-nation tour of Japan, Papua New Guinea and Australia. Minister Paiwang Konyak asks World Bank to continue support to Nagaland. Nagaland gets required quantity of EVMs and VVPATs for the upcoming general elections to the Lok Sabha to be held in 2024. And India says it is developing mitigation programs to reduce the risk of losses from all hazards. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.